When we start to realize what evolution is all about, it's those moments. Those moments when you realize how you're being. Every moment is an opportunity for me to see how I am in the world. And then, you know, it's about having compassion for ourselves in however we respond. So even if you would have responded from an angry, closed, restricted victim place, right? The even higher perspective is having compassion for yourself doing in that. Not like, oh, it's the more evolved response would have been or should have been ... right?
Yeah.
And then you get another opportunity.
Yeah. It's like, wait, what if I just have compassion for however I'm showing up? Because that's the deeper state of awareness or evolution is, okay, you did an excellent job, but can you have compassion for yourself when you do a real shitty job? Yeah, so around the age of 12, 13 is when I remember first kind of being introduced to it by my mom. She introduced me to everything that we're not taught in this world. I was living with her, and she read a lot of spiritual books, took me to a lot of the spiritual conferences and seminars. It was like a knowingness, like a coming home. Like it was just like, oh yeah, this is true, this is real, this is another reality. And so it just was always, from the moment that it's sort of the inception of it around 12, 13, it was just always there. It was this other Lorie that existed that came out when I was not playing in this world. So there were just two Lories always throughout my whole life that I was always playing in. The Lorie that did the programmed reality of you go to school, you go to college, you get your PhD. And then the Lorie that was like, there's so much more going on. And at that time in the 80s and the 90s, it wasn't as merged as it kind of is now. Now it's much more, there's a merging that's happening where we're starting to learn how to live in both of those realities. And back then it was very separate and you kept it really quiet. Like if you were aware of these things, it was very like a secret society kind of. It was just very separate. You know, you'd go to work and you'd do the things that you do, and then you would go home and have this other kind of life. And so that's how my life was growing up, most of my life, till my 40s. It's very separate. Most people in my life, like even my fiance that I was engaged to, didn't know of all the truest awarenesses that I had. I didn't feel excluded growing up. I didn't feel different. I didn't feel separate. I knew I was unique. And when I was in high school, middle school and high school, I actually talked more about what I believed. And the interesting thing is that as I got older, I started quieting more and more. And that Lorie started getting quieter and sort of went into the background and would only come up when my mom and I were together talking. I was aware of the Ascension process at 12. But back then, the awareness of Ascension from what we were told was the world was going to be destroyed. Like we would have to leave the planet with awareness in the physical body. So there would be death and there would be, you know, chaos. And all I knew was that I was assisting in that process. And it probably wasn't until, I don't know, the last 10 years that I realized that this process of evolution and ascension is actually in the physical body, that we're not going anywhere. This is amazing out here. I'm surprised people come all the way out here for an event. This feels like it's like really far away. What are those?
Cows.
No, those are not cows.
Yeah, they are.
Oh my God, they are so cute. It's like you want to snuggle with them.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, this is the town, right? Biezenmortal. Biezenmortal. Hi. Hello.
See you.
Surprise.
Hello.
I guess we're in the right place.
Yes, you are.
Okay, awesome. guys are badasses with this cold. Yay. Oh, this is interesting. Whoa, is that Jesus?
Oh, yeah.
That is intense to look at. Wow, holy Moses, there's so much energy coming in my body right now. Oh, hi! Hi! I was so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a freaking American. Like,
It's okay.
Amsterdam on the freaking coast. How would I describe my role on the planet? Reminding the human of who they are and why they are on the planet at this time. So what they are going through on an emotional level, a mental level, a physical level, a spiritual level, what they are going through and why they're going through it, like breaking it down from the perspective of this is a natural, energetic, and physical evolution in consciousness or energy. And what does that look like? Each person's gonna have a different experience, and some people are completely oblivious and unconscious to any of that and don't care. And some people are really in it, like you and I, and are jumping in and saying, "Tell me more, like explain more to me. What else?" And then there's, millions of humans in between. So it's really, for me, my role is reminding humanity of who they are, which is consciousness in the physical body experiencing this human journey. And what are we going through? We're going through a massive physical and energetic evolution. And it was all agreed upon. Wow.
And we're going to sit over there.
That's going to be incredible.
You can relax over here, but I think it's better to have a place where it's more...
Okay.
People are walking around.
Oh,
here
yeah.
and stuff,
Okay, yeah.
But first, let's see that you drop your shit.
Okay.
Get something to drink.
Okay.
And then take some pictures.
Okay,
and then
perfect.
we have to do the sound check and
Okay.
that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And 5
because
o'clock
now
we
it's
have
still light.
Yeah, because the pictures now it's best for the pictures because
Okay.
in half an hour.
We're ready? Okay.
Yeah, I want to take some pictures up there.
Okay.
And outside.
Okay, you just tell me where to go.
Yeah.
Okay, this way. Okay. It's very clear what my role is now on the planet, and the biggest challenge has been the other Lorie, and all of her kind of trauma and insecurity and doubt and all of those things coming in and sort of quieting the Lorie that's here to be who she came here to be. So it's really interesting to watch these two Lories kind of merge together. And this Lorie that's here now is the one that has that deeper awareness of what's going on, and the other Lorie is the one that's like, wait, what is this? How do I know that I can trust this? Do people really want to hear me? What am I actually doing? There's that doubt and insecurity from that Lorie, not from the Lorie that's here doing the act, speaking and that kind. Because once I get into the zone, it's go time. But it's when I'm not in that zone that the other Lorie comes in and is like, are you sure about that? Like, what, it's, it can get like foggy,
So what did you feel when you saw the statue?
When I saw Jesus?
Yeah.
Well, I totally felt his energy, and I felt the paradox, because it's a very gruesome picture. The hands are nailed. It's very gruesome. So there's this paradox, there's this flip, there's two sides. It's this really harsh experience that somebody went through. And then this beautiful part, all for the ability for humans to see that they're God, which is the yin and the yang, the light and the dark. It's the polarity, it's the duality. That's basically what I was seeing, was like, how could I look at this statue and see somebody that was sacrificed, basically. I think also just because I've never really seen a statue of Jesus like that. That awareness of what he sacrificed in order for humanity to remember who they are. so powerful. But also there's this idea that like putting everything externally, you know, like giving your power externally, giving like somebody has to take, like I'm a bad person. I did bad things and Jesus is here so that he will take that from me. You know, it's like, it's the opposite, you know, it's like, that's the opposite of what he was trying to say. You have to see the dark and you have to keep your heart wide open, which is what Jesus did. That's what he did. So there's this weird feeling of like, wait, I'm looking at something so horrific and yet my heart was totally activated.
That was what you said when your body was
shaking. My whole body started vibrating. And we just went into a completely high frequency. Yeah, it'll happen again when we go back out there. Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, let's go. Whoa, can you guys feel the energy already or is it just me? Like things are getting glossy, hazy, fuzzy almost.
Do you think it's lifting you up into Christ consciousness?
Yeah.
It's amazing if it can get you there.
Yeah. I also think it's what this evening's about, is activating. Wow. Oh my God, I'm getting so emotional.
It's beautiful.
Holy shit. I can hear him so loudly.
Oh, that's beautiful. What is the message?
Their people are in so much suffering, you have to open their hearts. People are in so much suffering. He said, the people are suffering, you're here to open their hearts. And he's like, that's all I came here to do. That's all I came here to do was open humanity's hearts. And he's saying I would die on the cross over and over and over again to open humanity's hearts. Don't waste an opportunity to open humanity's heart.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't waste an opportunity to open humanity's heart. Wow, holy Moses. It's crazy because I've been feeling Mary Magdalene's energy a lot when I was in London, and then to have this energy, it's really, really powerful.
Do you receive these kinds of messages often?
Like right here, I can hear him really loudly. Yeah. And like landing in London, I could feel Mary Magdalene. So it's like, but then I could also feel them at my house, but not like this.
What does he feel like?
Compassion, like a big grandma that's loving you up. Like you can do no wrong. That's the feeling. You can't do anything wrong. You know, a lot of times you'd be somebody like myself and you're gonna go speak, right? And so what happens is you get in your ego. You know, what do I need to do? And how am I gonna sound? And what am I gonna say? And then you have a moment like this and it's like, it's not about you.
Yeah, totally understand.
You know, it's not about you at all.
And you don't have to think about
No.
anything. It will just come.
Yeah. You actually probably don't need to say anything, Lorie. You could just sit there. Like you are the activator almost, right? And that's why the being state is so important. You're open, you're receptive, you're allowing. You're allowing yourself, to be that vessel, and you're allowing yourself to be God, which is who we are.
Were you capable of receiving these messages before you healed yourself?
You can hear more clearly if the ego's out of the way, which is basically healing, because if there's a lot of trauma in the body, then the ego is going to be identified with whatever the trauma is telling the ego.
Yeah, and so you can't hear another message.
Yeah. So the ego is just so loud because it's so identified with that trauma.
Yeah.
Right? So then it's really difficult to hear. But if it's part of your kind of purpose or your mission, then it doesn't matter how much trauma you have. You're gonna be able to do it, which is a blessing and a curse, because there's a lot of people out there that have these abilities, you know, and they don't ever have to heal.
Like a lot of people have these abilities and they don't use it for the highest good.
All the freaking time.
Even sometimes thinking they do.
Of course, yes, yes, so much, so many. It's really difficult to feel. It's really freaking difficult to feel. It's really difficult to really look at your. I hope these people aren't watching me clean the mud off my fucking shoe. Yeah, you want to see what Lorie does behind the scenes. She literally takes water on her hand to clean her. Yeah, so it's. I mean, I'm always getting the guidance of like, keep going, keep healing, because that's the only way you'll be able to be the purest vessel. And it's really hard. It's, you know, but you keep going. But I can still do my work regardless of how healed I am, but my work is more profound the more I'm healed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Now I'm really fucked.
What do you want? I can help you with. Oh, I don't.
Most people would just go to the bathroom and clean their shoe off. Not Lorie. She's going to do it right in front of Jesus. It's such a good message. You see? Even the bird thinks so. You know what's interesting is like people probably see this and then they think like a religious thing. There's like a story of like either that's good or that's bad. That's control, that's whatever, there's going to be stories, right? Instead of just like letting the story go and tapping into what do you feel?
Absolutely.
Wow. Sometimes I ask myself, like, was Jesus able to see evil and keep his heart open? You know? Probably he was. On one level, he probably saw the pain in that person. And so he didn't see the act of that person. He saw the pain of that person. And I think that is what makes us masters. It's not that we don't realize, it's not that we have to get over the fact that that's evil and somehow you have to accept it. I think it's that we start realizing that that is an expression of pain or an expression of something deeper that's playing out as evil, that's in a very low frequency, right? And so there has to be God in there. Hi. Yeah, you can give me a hug right now. I'm Esther. Hi, Esther. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, very nice to meet you too. You practically saved my life. So, yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you came tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh. Sorry. That's okay.
So good to see you.
Oh, give me another hug.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It was a bumpy road.
It was a very bumpy road.
Now it's getting better.
And it will keep getting better. And if it doesn't get better, then at least you know what you can go through. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to your story tonight.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for hanging in there.
Yeah.
Thanks for not quitting and not giving up.
Thank you.
Esther.
Yeah.
That was special. It's like, oh wait, what if I just did that to every single person?
Which is?
What he did.
Yeah.
It's so insane that we just got to see that in motion. Literally. We got to see, Jesus was like, here's what you're going to do. Here's how you do it. I'm gonna give you an example. She's the only one that came out, and she's just standing there. It's like, oh, okay, got it. Thank you. Wow. That's why we're healing. Also,
yeah, healing ourselves to heal, like,
Yeah, to be able to stand and like, no matter what somebody comes at you with, to be able to
true, to keep on opening humanity's heart.
keep on opening humanity's heart. Well, Jesus, thank you. We got the message.
We love you. I love you.
One day I will hear your voice too.
You will. You will. And if not, that's okay too. We're going to continue to watch humanity search in the external world for a savior, for something or someone to save us from our suffering. And I understand that. That's part of the human journey. That's why it's so courageous for us to be here, is that it's so intense and there is so much suffering. But suffering is the illusion. God is in you. Safety is in you. Freedom is in you. Love is in you. Peace is in you. In you being, it is in the physical form. It is in experience. It is in the now. It is here, right now. There's nowhere to go. But we're so disconnected from who we are. We're so disconnected from our awareness. We're so disconnected because we are believing that we are everything we're experiencing. And so if we believe that we are everything people have told us, all the emotions, if we believe that and it's being experienced inside of us, of course we're going to search for something to tell us how to be in this. Save me from this. Obviously, I can't figure this out. I can't do this. And the dichotomy or the paradox of it all is that it's all found inside. The whole universe, everything is inside of us. And so we're going to see more and more people reaching out to religion because it is the direction back in. And I think that as consciousness continues to raise on the planet, we'll start to realize that the more that we are searching in this external world for a savior, we are simultaneously going to start to realize that it's within us. So I think it's going to start shifting. You know, even this idea that Jesus is the savior, I think people are going to start realizing that Jesus was just Christ consciousness, which is heart consciousness, which is God, which is love. And so we'll start to realize, even my friend today was like, everyone says Jesus, 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 Jesus. And I just get this, this twinge, and I'm like, yeah, because there's a religious connotation, which is beautiful and fabulous, but he's simply the awakener. He awakened humanity back into their God essence within them. And if anything that, in my opinion, anything that pulls us out of who we are, our awareness, is some sort of control over us, which is fine. But we're not here to be controlled. We're not here to hand everything over and please take this from me and I'll be okay. Because you're still going to believe everything that you believe yourself to be. Until then you're going to continue to try to put it on somebody else to take it from you. And in those moments, it feels relief. But then you are trapped. Because now you're believing that something else outside of you has to be there to take from you everything that you can't hold yourself, which on one level is fine. But we are here to be able to be God in form. We save ourselves by realizing that we're none of what we're experiencing. And then we become free and empowered and safe.
Can I tell a story?
You were storyteller, so you... Can I say no?
No, you cannot. I was just out there on the hanging out with the Jesus statue.
Here on the square side.
Yeah, over here. And as Lorie, the one that's like, oh, I'm a teacher and I hope I say the right things and I hope that I do the impact that I'm here to do tonight and blah, blah, blah. It's like this little ego that's really controlling. And Jesus came in so loud and he said, this isn't about you, Lorie. This is about the service that you're here to make for humanity, right? So every opportunity that you have is an opportunity to open someone's heart. And it was like, you need to get out of the way. So when you say, like, who are you? It's like, okay, well, there's all these identifications that I have that are real, right? And then I get slapped in the face by Jesus, and it's like, none of that actually matters. Just show up and serve humanity and open their hearts, right? So all of that to say that when I was younger, I knew that I was here to do this work, but I took a very, very long time to commit to it because I knew that if I committed to this work, my whole life would change.
Yeah, it's been really life-changing being on this tour because there is a humility, but also an awareness that just maybe this is supposed to be a profound book. Just maybe this is supposed to be much bigger than what I'm allowing it to be. When I've been on this tour and kind of looking at the people that are being impacted by the voice and the messages, it's becoming more and more clear that this book and this Lorie that's here doing this work, it's almost like my ego has to get out of the way. The part that wants to control it, figure it out. The part that says you're not good enough, or, it's not good enough, or it's really loud. And that's what one of the things that this tour has shown me is just how loud that voice is of it's not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're an imposter. This Lorie that's speaking right now is starting to become more and more in the driver's seat is what it feels like. So that's the thing about embodiment or experience. Like when you experience something, so meeting people in Europe, meeting people in different countries, seeing them hug me and cry, and this is one of this has been so impactful, whether it's my messages or whether it was the book. When you experience that, not in the metaverse, not through a phone, but in person, it's a very different feeling because it's visceral, it's real, it's embodied. Meaning there is an energetic experience that physically goes back and forth. It's not the same, which is why virtual reality is so, AI is going to be really harmful for us, because anything that takes us away from the visceral, physical, energetic experience is pulling us into an illusion. That's not to say that we don't live in a quantum field where we can, have these collective experiences energetically, where we can tap in the visceral. So it's been an embodiment more and more of the book, and an embodiment of who I'm here to be, an embodiment of it, which overpowers the embodiment of insecurity, unworthiness, which has been in my body most of my life. So of course that's what's going to play out. I've embodied it. I've experienced that. So it's in me playing out. Now I'm starting to embody and experience the impact. Oh wait, maybe I am worthy. Maybe I am making an impact. Holy cow, I am making an impact. Wait a second, my voice is important. It's very strange. Why was I supposedly chosen to write the divine design, or to speak? So what I was told by my guides, which are the energies that gave me the information basically for the book, was that I was like, they basically were like, well, you weren't the only one that had that imprint. I was just the only one that actually followed through unconsciously until I became conscious. And then even once I became conscious meaning you're writing this book, right? And you know how hard it is for guidance to come through from an external source, like an energy, a guide, an angel, and for the unconscious, like loud, obnoxious, egoic human to actually hear it is slim to none. You know, it's very slim. So we see these Eckhart Tolles and these, you know, these powerful teachers out there, and we think that they're special. And it's like, they're not special. They just listened to the calling within them. They followed it. They trusted it. They right? And most of us, 99% of us, don't. Because we have trauma, because we have loud active thoughts, because we're busy trying to just support our families. There's so many reasons that we don't hear it, right? Because of different choices, we have fear, so we end up getting engaged, right? And then we get married, and then we have kids because we don't want to be alone, because we don't believe. There's so many reasons that we navigate life the way we do. And so the small chance that you actually hear the guidance is miraculous at times. And but for me, I think because I had the experience at 12 or 13 for whatever reason, and I had the mom that was spiritual, I had this foundation that was in me already. And I think that's one of the reasons. And the other thing is that I did come in with the signature of doing this, and so speaking and doing what I'm doing. So I think I was kind of primed, perhaps. Although I did have a lot of trauma. I don't know. You know, I wasn't special. That's what they told me. You're not special. We have to like throw it out to a lot of different. You know, there's up in the realms up there, there's a handful, hundreds of people that choose the same sort of thing to do. And then we all look at each other like, I wonder which one of us is going to actually do it, you know, because we know the intensity of the experience here on the planet. It's crazy.
Hello, Amsterdam. Hello! Oh my God, we made it. We made it. It's so good to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you for taking time out of your day, out of your evening to be here with me. It means the world to me. So thank you. And thank you for coming to this amazing church. Yeah. You guys don't know how weird it is to stand here and look at all the eyeballs staring at you, like, what's next? I don't know. So I want to start by, I'm going to bring us into a deep, deep remembrance. It's always my intention. It's why I'm on the planet. The remembrance of who you are, and the remembrance of why you're on the planet at this time. So what we dropped into, the Matrix, the game, Monopoly, whatever you want to call it, Earth, it has ways that we're designed to play in it. So you drop in and you're freaking amazing as consciousness. You're in alignment as this little light that drops in. You see things, you hear things, you understand things, you're in awe. You ever see like babies' faces when their eyes are open, they're just like, you know, they can see beyond the physical. Babies are in flow. They're not thinking about a future. Rarely. It's our natural state. And what we're doing right now is moving back into those natural states. Wholeness, flow, safety, freedom, presence. We're literally doing a roundabout and going back in and coming back to our natural state. But when we decided to go in, we came into this game knowing that every single thing that we experienced would be pulling us out of our natural state. And so you started experiencing the world with parents and families and brothers and sisters and whatever the world gave you. And you started experiencing energy and physicality, which means that you started having an experience back and forth with something else outside of you. So the thought comes in, behaviors start to happen, emotions start to be experienced, and then there's programming. Deep programming. Here's your name. This is who you are. This is what you do, this is what you don't do. This is what you say, this is what you don't say, this is what you feel, this is what you don't feel. This is safe, this is not safe. This is good, this is not good, this is bad. We start polarizing. We start getting programmed. It's beautiful. And because we're just consciousness hanging out, like, what is this? And we forget everything. We forget that we're consciousness. Then we just start believing everything we're told. And because the humans before us didn't realize what they were in, they just passed it on down to us. And we pass it on down to our children. Passing it down, what are we passing down? That there is a right and a wrong. Don't feel that, feel that. Do it this way, don't do it that way. You should and you shouldn't. The fact that we are so deeply programmed to not feel that every single time an emotion comes into the body and it is not felt, it's like you're just putting some mud in the water. So one of the reasons that evolution takes so long is because we don't allow everything to just move. But why would we? We have trauma.
The way that I define or describe trauma is it's an experience that we had, an external experience that we had with somebody else or something else, whether it was your parents, a teacher, a police officer, somebody at the grocery store, a movie that you saw, I don't know, something, right? An accident that you saw outside. When you had the experience, when you experienced the experience, there was an energy that was created between you, your physical body, and that experience, which moved into the body as emotion, thoughts, behaviors. And if those emotions, thoughts, and behaviors felt intense, felt too much, this is all unconscious, we're not doing this consciously. If it felt too much, for instance, somebody was screaming at you as a little kid, okay, that screaming at you, you're going to feel fear. You're going to feel scared. You're going to want to hide. There's something wrong with me. What did I do wrong, right? Those are thoughts that come in, emotions that come in. Now, they don't feel good. As an energy, it's intense, it's dense, it's intense when it moves into the body. And because of that, unconsciously, we stop ourselves from just simply allowing that emotion to move through. So we create defense mechanisms. We create ways to not feel it so that we can feel safe, because we're not taught that it's just an energy. You know, the person screaming at you isn't also saying, it's okay, you can feel what I'm screaming at you. It's just an energy, let it move through you. It's not you. Like, we're not doing that. And so the little kid or even the adult feels these things, and then they are not just simply allowed to be felt and experienced, and then they store inside the body. That energy that moves in stores inside the body, and then that energy becomes what we would call trauma. So it holds emotion, it holds the thoughts, right? And then it creates behaviors. And so we've got these little experiences of energy that we call trauma that are inside our body that we now access as reality. So it's like, oh no, I had this experience. We're not conscious of this. It's all unconscious. I had this experience at 6 years old. My mom left me. I'm unworthy. I'm unlovable. People are going to abandon me. Those are just thoughts that came in based on that moment. But it's stored in my body cellularly, like as an energy, as an absolute, because I didn't understand it when it was happening. I didn't realize that it's not me, that it's an experience, and you can have that experience. And these thoughts that are coming in right now are not yours. They're just thoughts that are coming in from the experience. But we store it in here. We believe it to be absolute, and then we live our lives with those thoughts as our truth, as our reality. And then we continue to create experiences unconsciously that validate those limiting beliefs, those thoughts. And then we just perpetuate it. And then it just builds. That trauma builds, that trauma builds, that trauma builds. It's like it validates its own beliefs, the trauma. And then we run from the emotions that are stored in that trauma. And then it's just like a hamster wheel running around until, we naturally start to, that trauma starts to get rattled.
When my mom left me at 6 years old and I saw her pull away from the driveway, and I felt everything I felt, and all of a sudden these thoughts just started imprinting into my being. I'm not safe, I'm not okay, anyone I love is going to run away. I did something wrong, there's something wrong with me. The world isn't safe. I'll never be taken care of, I'm all by myself, I'm all alone. Those are thoughts that come in based on an experience that I had, and there was nobody else around me to tell me that everything was okay, that this is not me. And so this bottle experiences that experience. We call it trauma. We call it trauma because we didn't allow it to just move through us. Why would we? It's very uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. And a lot of us disassociate. So as soon as my mom went away, then my dad was drinking so much, he sexually abused me. So not only did I have that, but then I had sexual abuse. And so my little girl, 6-year-old, was like, I'm out. Leaves the body.
I'm not an expert about disassociation, but I've experienced it as a little kid. So I can describe what I believe occurs in disassociation. Again, everything is an experience that happens through the body. So when we're talking right now, there is an energy between you and I that's being experienced. There's a relaxation, there's a calmness, there's energy happening, right? And then there's emotion that comes in, the calmness, the contentment, the ease. Then there's maybe thoughts that are coming in like, oh, this is easy, or this feels good, whatever that is. Okay, so everything is an experience that is moved through the body. And what happens is that the awareness that we are, the awareness that we experience ourselves as, that we don't remember that we are, when there is a really traumatic experience that happens, and let's say that it's actually happening to the physical body as well, physical abuse or sexual abuse, then those experiences, those moments that are moving into the body are going to be so intense that the aspect of you that is believing to be in the experience, like the egoic structure that believes to be in this experience, believes to be this experience, is going to be in such a fight or flight state, in so much danger or so much pain, unsafety, that in that moment that it happens, the ego is going to choose to kind of turn the lights out. So it's like the ego is sitting on a chair watching the stage, watching the play. And all of a sudden the ego's like, oh my God, this is not a good scene. I'm going to turn the lights out. I'm going to let the scene play out, and I'm going to pretend that I didn't see that scene. Right? And so the ego's, from a defense mechanism point, it's a beautiful thing to do. It learns how to do it at a very young age, many of us. And it's a powerful tool. You know, we needed it. The problem is that that trauma is still in the body. And now, because the egoic structure, awareness is always there watching, right? Awareness is kind of in the back watching the ego and watching the play out. But the ego has forgotten that doesn't know that happened. It has no idea what happened. It turned the lights out. I had no idea what happened in my childhood with sexual abuse. None. Until 30 or 28, 29, 30, somewhere around that, right? Then the light turned on because the ego couldn't process it. The ego couldn't even remember it happening. So when we have these really traumatic experiences, it's a very natural process to turn the lights out, and we call it leaving the body. We don't actually like leave the body, we just turn the lights out, you know? But we call it, we left the body, we disassociated. But the ego doesn't actually leave the body.
Think about this for a moment. The moment my mom pulls away in the driveway, I remember it like it was yesterday. A thought that I had never had before came in. I'm not safe. And everyone I love is going to leave me. I'm 48. I do know I'm safe now. But I still am boxing with everyone I love is going to leave me. And I don't feel that thought when I'm alone. I feel that thought when I'm in relationship. A thought that popped in that was never me. At 6 years old, was so profound that it's still with me at 48. And I'm aware, I observe, I dissect, I feel everything. That's how powerful this game is.
So here's the really tricky piece that's really challenging. What I have experienced in my life personally, which is the only thing I talk about, is the true healing that starts to happen is awareness. Awareness, awareness, awareness. It's going to show you what you've been feeling. It's just going to bring light. Awareness just brings light. Awareness just, you start to see, you start to feel. And this is just, this can just start happening naturally. It's happening naturally to a lot of us. When we start becoming aware, so you start becoming aware of your thoughts. You start becoming even more aware of your thoughts. You start becoming aware of the emotions that you don't want to feel, that you're fixing, that you're numbing to. And instead of saying, I need to heal it, that's the ego saying, oh my God, this isn't good. This is bad. This is wrong. I should be healing this and I should be healed from this. That's a trap. Because now you're grabbing what was never yours in the first place, what only just wanted to be released. Trauma just wanted to be released from the get-go. So now you're taking it and you're trying to figure out how to get rid of it. When simply it just needs to be seen. And the problem is that we have addictions, we have repetitive behaviors that we don't like based on the trauma. We have thought forms that are going to continue to come up for God knows how many years. And so we have this idea that that's wrong and that there must be some way to heal and fix. And on one level, yes, you can probably get into that controlled state and create the illusion that you're healing it. But true healing is not trying to heal. True healing is simply observing, being aware of what you were unconscious of. And every time it comes up, simply being aware of it is what releases it. It is what heals it. Because the more that you are aware of something, the more you are free of it. It's that easy. And if you're free of it, it doesn't matter if it comes up or not, because you're aware of it. It's now separate from you. So a limiting belief comes up and I'm aware of it over and over and over again. I most likely won't respond from it. So it's not about getting rid of that thought. It's about being aware of that thought.
Every part of you that you don't think is worthy or good enough is perfect, is beautiful. Everything that has made you who you are today is perfect. And you don't have to like any of it. You can have temper tantrums over and over and over again. You're still going to wake up every single morning and be pummeled into whatever it is you need to feel and see and think so that you can recognize that you're not it, so that you can remember that you're safe, so that you can stand in alignment no matter what's going on out there in the world. You can be whole, you can be free, you can be safe no matter what is going on in your internal world. You don't run from it. You don't even need to change it. Everything that you're upset about, that you don't want, that you don't like, that you're changing and fixing, fighting against, battling, is just asking to be loved.
So tell us about Ireland. What was it like?
Have you been to Dublin?
No, but
Oh my God.
it's not one of the places that I would have expected to go
Dude,
to.
it's so fun. There's like this underlying like enjoying life kind of vibe, but it has like this really powerful like spiritual component to it. And their history is incredible. The history of Ireland and London and like what happened between them.
So energetically, it was just more in line with you in Ireland.
Oh yeah, London, when I got in, because my body will feel the energy of the land, right? Yeah, holy fuck, dude. You're super comfortable in the city. Like they've got everything you could need, and you know, when you're walking, it's not, when you're in it, it's not that bad, but there's but it feels like there's like a cloud lifting.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's like it could be because the queen died, but there's dark fucking shit
I know.
there.
Really?
Exactly.
But you know who's dark? Well, you know what country is darker?
U.S.? Really?
Dude, we are so much more dense than these countries. It's insane. If there's anything I've learned so far, it's how fucking dense the United States is. Oh my God.
How do you feel about
Amsterdam?
coming here? Yeah.
Last night it was like it was just a lot of fun. I don't know what the energy of Amsterdam is actually. What would you say?
I liked it. It was rainy and dark, but I still felt it's way better.
Yeah, it's way better than London. Yeah, it's lighter for sure.
People are like...
I wish I had more time.
Yeah.
People are really friendly.
Yeah, they're really...
Lots of tourists.
Yes. Like from all the events you had, which one was the one you felt...
Last night.
Last night? Yeah.
It was good, huh, Joey?
Really?
And it was freezing cold. I was shivering.
While you're speaking?
Uh-huh.
Again.
Again, I was shivering the night before,
Yes,
too.
the energy of like what you're bringing.
Well, plus it was freezing cold.
Yeah.
It was freezing cold in the church, even though I paid extra to have the heat.
Did you ask for your money back? Like, listen. Or that's with the heat. It was still cold.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was shivering up there. But it'll be better tonight. But last night was probably the best one.
And we're gonna leave directly after the event, right?
Yeah.
Around 9.
Oh, no.
No?
Sweet child, no. It's... What time did we leave last night?
Oh, because everyone wanted to have a word with you, right? Take a picture.
Yeah, I do my best, but what time did we leave last night?
I think it was like
11?
11.
Yeah. But should we go to the
Yeah, let's go.
restaurant? It's only 10 minutes away.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay. This is insane. Dude, like you can't be intoxicated in any way, shape, or... And if you have animals, forget about it. Holy shit.
So it was supposed to rain today.
Oh my God, I know. We got the sun. It's so incredible. It was raining yesterday. I still walked. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I'm walking. I'm in Amsterdam.
Hello, Amsterdam. What an absolute gift to be here. I say this in each city that I've been visiting, but there was definitely a moment where I didn't know if I would be leaving the United States. You know, would I be able to go and visit other countries based on what was happening on the planet? So there's not a moment that goes by on my travels that I'm not absolutely grateful for the ability to go to other countries.
There is a beauty in realizing the impact that my voice made and that that's real. But there can be this very deceptive illusion that I know more and that I can fix you or that I can heal you, you know? And so I'm very aware of how people perceive me to be. So they look at me, oh my God, I can't believe and I don't grab that as me. I don't, meaning but I'm aware, like even last night, I was aware of how easy it can be as I'm signing books and like there's so many different awarenesses going on. One of the awarenesses was, wow, this is why so many famous people get caught up in the idea that they're great. They're not great. You know, they're not any more special than the person saying you're so amazing. When every single time a person comes up to me, I do not, and this is the honest truth, I don't see myself as any better than them at all. I just realize that I'm in a different position. And so there's this humility of like, I understand why you think I'm that way, but I'm not. I am to you, but I'm not any different. And so I don't ever grab it and build on it, which is what a lot of people do. They build on it. So they take it and it's like, I must be great. Oh, I must be great. I'm so great. I must be great. Oh my God, I'm so amazing. Holy cow, I am great. Now, you know, and then all of a sudden there's this structure that builds, and then they need that. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's a very scary structure that we have in the world, because then there's the hierarchy that, you know, and there is, oh, this person's up here and they're so incredible and I'm way down here. And so the only way that I know how to try to break that is not to tell them, don't think of me as better than, but it is to reflect back to them just absolute humility and just, I see you. Like, you know, I don't hold the energy of better than. You know, and it's awareness. It's constant awareness that you are not what they are perceiving you to be. You're not a guru. You're not a famous person. You're not smarter than. You're not more enlightened at all. And that keeps me grounded and humble when people do come up and say those things.
Who's got okay. No. We're not taking a picture.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, are we?
You are now.
Oh, really? Ah.
I think if there was one final thing I would say to sort of sum up everything, is that, you know, it's like the Wanderer song. We're all walking each other home. And home is back to the awareness of who we are. That we're all in this game, but we're all playing it. That we all are believing that we are the emotions, the thoughts, the behaviors, the patterns. And that every once in a while we get this glimpse, you know, from somebody else or from ourselves or from something that we hear, that maybe, just maybe, this is not real, that this isn't me. And we all hold that awareness. Every single one of us on the planet holds the awareness that we're not this, and that every single one of us is a player in remembering and reminding and holding each other's hands, you know, walking home, walking back into ourselves. And that is the greatest gift that we can give ourselves. Truly is the greatest gift that we can give ourselves, is remembering who we are, which is God or consciousness in form. And that we can remember that we're here to remind everybody else. And everything else will unfold from that place. And every moment of every day is an opportunity to remember that.
I know I'm not alone. We're all going home. Listen to the beat of your heart when you don't know where to go. We're all going home. Listen to the song that's playing on your own soul's radio.